North Carolina is one of the most backward states in the United States. I shit you not. North Carolina is the state that had the bathroom bill where it required transgender people to go to the bathroom that was, the sex on their birth certificate. So they're a very, very backward state. They're really, really crazy. I think it might have been North Carolina, but something good that the NBA and I think the NCAA might do as well. What they do is if they're holding some kind of game there, some kind of like special event, they'll just pull out. They'll be like, okay, you're being super anti-LGBT, fuck it, we're just gonna pull out, and that just, that hurts their state. So they do something good on that front too. But North Carolina is an insane state, and I'm gonna be explaining to you guys something really insane. Here's a crazy story. It says, men legally allowed to finish sex even if women revokes consent, North Carolina law states. It says North Carolina is the one state where the law explicitly says you cannot revoke consent once it's given. A bill that would remove this, quote, unacceptable loophole has little traction. Yes, they have a fucking law that says that if you're a dude, you can finish fucking even if she doesn't want you to anymore. Do you have any idea how insane that is? Just think about that. You're talking about a law in which there are two people who, whatever, they give consent. And then, whatever through, they're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And then they're like, nope, you can. What kind of a law would say something like that anyways? I don't understand. Like, what made them decide to go out, and because it takes an action to go through and make a law and pass a law. But North Carolina is an insane state. But just think about this sort of a scenario for a second, though, right? Like, let's say you give consent as a woman, in the beginning, and then the fucking dude just starts doing crazy ass shit or some shit you don't like. But hey, you gave consent in the beginning, and although, you weren't given all the details of what was going to happen, and you don't like what's going on now, the North Carolina law states that, hey, you got to go through it. That's fucking insane. I honestly can't believe that this is a law in North Carolina. And the worst part is, and I'll repeat it to you guys here. It says, a bill that would remove this, quote, unacceptable loophole, which is what it is, has little traction. Yes, I repeat, has little traction. So what the article says is, it says, one May evening in 1977, Beverly Hester was sexually assaulted. According to the summary included in the North Carolina Supreme Court decision, she testified that the perpetrator, Donnie Way, threatened to beat her if she didn't have sex with him while hanging out at a friend's apartment. When she tried to leave the bedroom, he allegedly slapped her in the face. Went on to say that Way penetrated her anally and forced her to perform oral sex on him. She said she began having intercourse. Despite her testimony, the jury appeared to be swayed by the defense's argument that Hester initially agreed to have sex. During deliberations, they returned to ask the judge whether consent can be withdrawn. The judge noted that it could, especially in cases where intercourse had turned violent and thus no longer consensual. Way convicted of second-degree rape. So it says, the state Supreme Court, however, disagreed with the lower court's interpretation of withdrawn consent. Quote, if the actual penetration is accomplished with the woman's consent, the accused is not guilty of rape, although he may be guilty of another crime because of his subsequent actions. So this is insane because, no, that is rape. That is rape because you're now having sex without the consent of the woman, which is rape. And it's unbelievable that this is an actual law in North Carolina. But although this is an insane law, if there's one state where I would tell you, yeah, that could probably fucking happen, it's North Carolina because that state is fucking insane. They're fucking insane.